But what if they came there and said, I would like to partner up with you. And what I'll do is I'll make sure the place is clean as a whistle. I'll handle maintenance and sanitation while you handle running the company. All of a sudden, then he's going to be like, that's a great deal. I don't want to be sweeping these floors. But if you come in...
Women are janitors. Well, I mean, I forgot about that aspect of it. Not only are you my sex vessel and sandwich maker, but also my janitor. He is for, you know, if you want to, yes, queen, go out there and be a CEO, that's cool. You can go out and do that, you know. But if you want a man in your life, a real man, a beanie man, if you will, well, to be a beanie man and get one, you're gonna have to just be a bang maid.
Oh boy, we got a response to a response video in the third person. I'm not responding to the person who made the video, but I saw this video. You got this TikTok from @ValueMen. I'm not super familiar with @ValueMen, but shout out. It's this. It starts with this woman saying, "I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships," and then a woman being like, "Dude, women are acting like men. Men don't want to be in relationships with men. So of course, men are only using you for sex. Because if they, you know, I should play the video and then I'll talk about, you know, modern dating and all this stuff and, you know, whatever. But let's play this. Okay. I think this one's pretty funny.
Men don't actually want relationships.
Well, let me start it over.
Men don't actually want relationships.
Okay. I thought men only wanted one thing, and it's disgusting.
Wanted equality, and now you're complaining that they don't want to be in a relationship with you. Equality also means the same. And since these men are not gay, why would they want to be in a relationship with another man? So you got your equality, and now they don't want to be in a relationship with you because you bring nothing to the table. You're basically men. They use you for one thing now. Of course they do, because that's what makes them not gay. But everything else, you're just like a guy.
Dude, I'm so not gay because I come in women. Yeah, it makes me not gay, dude. So not gay.
They don't want to be in a relationship with a guy, otherwise they would be gay. And since they're not, they don't want to be in a relationship with you. You're not.
How's Tim gonna wrap his beanie around this logic? You know, I feel it's rock solid.
Respectful. You don't give them peace. Maybe try being kind and sweet. And nice, and don't bring drama into their lives. And don't try to change them. Accept them for who.
Yeah, come on. Be nice. You got to be nice and be friendly and know that they want one thing because that one thing keeps them from the gay.
They are and believe in them. And then they'll want to be in a relationship with you.
By the way, this shit, it's like, again, not healthy for dudes. Dudes, like, that they should have the ability to talk about things that affect them and have drama and shit like that. The fact that, like, you're trying to always associate certain traits or characteristics with one gender, it's deeply unhealthy. Really unhealthy. Not good for dudes at all. So, yeah, just stray away from that stuff.
It's not the fact that they don't want to be in relationships. They just don't want to be in a relationship with you. There's a difference.
Oh, that was great. That was great. I like this. She's like, if
mic drop.
Men don't want to be in a relationship with men because they're not gay. And it's like, okay, I get it. It's a joke. But in all seriousness, there's an interesting point to dig out there and present in literal terms. Men, successful men, men in general, but not all men. Not all men. Okay. I'm not speaking for everybody.
No, the successful ones.
I hope women understand this. I've talked about this in numerous segments going back over the years, and feminists always get really angry. It was a story from the New York Post, and it was a woman saying that she was struggling to find a man to date her who made the same amount of money that she did. And the New York Post said, women in their 30s who have careers are struggling to date men in their same income bracket. And I'm like, you gotta think about the kind of man who would date a woman who makes, let's say, $70K a year, and she's 34. I am not intending to insult women in any way by bringing this up. But I mean, it's always right before you might hear some of the most misogynistic stuff possible, right? But what was said by this woman @ValueMen, I think there's, you know, something interesting to point out. Okay. And I know I've done it before, but let's do another segment on it.
You're doing a lot of dancing around the subject. Let's say you're a 34-year-old guy, and you're broke. You make no money. Yeah. And then along comes a 34-year-old woman, you know, kind of attractive, has a job,
Maybe you want to date her. And you're like, well, look, she's got a place. I'm struggling here. Does the woman want to date you? Well, there's a tendency, and I'm not saying all people, calm down. No, why would she? She's working really hard. Here's a guy who's not successful, and it's like, what's attractive?
What's your point, Tim?
She wants to find a guy who makes the same amount of money as her. But this means the woman brings nothing to the table for the man. The man already has money. He already makes money. He's already got...
Like, you're providing a level of insight that I would expect to see, like, graffitied on a gas station bathroom stall. That's, like, what's going down here. Where get to the fucking, like, meat of this.
An apartment. He's looking for a wife. Someone who can fill the gap in his life. What's missing. Women think that you can be equal. I shouldn't say women. That's not fair. Feminists, because clearly this woman doesn't. Many feminists don't. That you can come to a man and say, I offer you what you already have. Let's start a relationship. The man says, a relationship, look, it can be based on love, in which case, people will share careers and lives and get along. I'm not saying everybody. But for a lot of guys, they're thinking, look.
What are you saying? I'm going to be honest. Like, as of this point, we're 4 minutes deep, almost halfway done the video.
I don't need a breadwinner. I make money. I pay my rent. I want to buy a house. I want to have a family. I want to matter, and I want to provide, and I want to care for people, and I want to provide what I can to somebody else. But now men are being increasingly presented with the option of, well, they're going to be working 40 hours a week. Even if you had kids, you'd have to find a sitter somehow. You have to struggle with it. It's difficult. It's not the same as it used to be. Of course, and this is a bad thing. It's bad. It's not healthy. I don't think it's a good dynamic. It's both fucked that we have the system and that stratifies everything and the hierarchies and all that stuff. But it's also really bad that we reinforce the shit with dudes, where it's like, yeah, your worth as a man should be on your ability to make the monies and also be protectors. But since in modern times there's not a lot of people charging at your house with like swords and stuff, mostly it's about the making the monies and how much you can do, and that's where your value is going to come from. And if you're unable to do that and unable to then, by ratio of doing that, slay the puss, well, then you're just not a dude. You're a low value male. You're basically, you should be left astray. That's a really fucked up way to have everything set up when it becomes increasingly harder under capitalism to survive. So as things get harder, as people can't afford to buy places, as they can't move out of their parents' houses, as they are struggling with that, obviously there's going to be a large percentage of a drop in the amount of contact they have with people of the gender that they're attracted to, that they want to be in relationships with and have the sex having. All of this stuff, it sucks. It adds a lot of stress. It adds a lot of dynamics to life that make it worse and harder to love and be in romantic relationships, because it's kind of hard. It's not a lot of time anymore, people just working a lot and doing the app economy and the grind and the Sigma shit and all that kind of stuff. And conversely, also fucked up that the value of the woman is going to come from how hot she is. Her value is a sex device. Yeah. How good of a sex device am I basically buying through my marriage? I want to get married and buy a good sex device. And, well, this is a sex device that can also cook. Cool. Don't talk too much. Look, I know you love shopping, so if you provide the sandwich and are a good sex device for me, I will permit you sometimes, because again, I'm the breadwinner and the alpha male here, to shop using the credit card. So you can be shopping, and I want to have my sex vessel and the sandwich. That's basically what I think this relationship should be, and how it'll work out best for everyone. We are navigating our way through this. I'm not saying every, or even all. I'm not saying every or 70%. I think there's just a tendency. Guys can't have kids. They want to have kids. But I think there's also the obvious that men tend toward jobs that are
this is just, at this point, he's making so many different statements about so many different aspects of a topic that he's trying to cohesively talk about. Like, I can tell that, but it's just like free form out of nowhere. Men can't have kids. Men want to have kids. You should be in a relationship, you think, with the breadwinner of the family. This woman certainly thinks so. Funny story. Have you heard about Marvel films?
Object-oriented, and women tend toward jobs that are subject-oriented. Meaning, guys want to solve problems, accomplish goals, and work with their hands and things like that. On average, again, calm down.
Like, it's so cringe to make outrage like fucking temptations and shit like that. Just like I don't like. Hey, if you're hate watching me right now, if someone is hate watching me right now, hate watching the Serfs video and reacting to it. Hey, you know, just someone on the other side of the political aisle here. I don't think you're sitting there outraged and beside yourself, and I'm owning you and you're soiling yourself right now. I don't think you're sitting there just like, no, Serfs, like. Pretty sure you're probably doing the same thing, being like, Lance is an idiot. He's so stupid. Look at how dumb his takes are. Fucking Serfs, more like the soy. You know, like I do not think that I'm ruining you right now, wrecking your mind with my takes. I'm destroying your mind, man. I'm inside.
So here's what happens: 34-year-old guy makes $100,000 a year.
Cool.
Gets approached by a woman of a comparable age, similar salary, and he says, look, I want to have a family. There is a 28-year-old woman. She makes $45K a year at her job. She doesn't want to work full-time anymore. She is interested in having a family. She's younger. What do you think the guy's going to pick?
Okay, cool story, bro. Like, what you were doing is like reinforcing all this fucking caveman era stereotypes. It's like, men like to work with their hands. Men, they're builders, problem solvers. That's what they like. Women, nurturers. You know, they're better. They can have children. Men want to have children. Men can't have children. Like, my dudes, like, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, it doesn't have to be this way all the time. Like, we don't have to only live in a world where this is like the best possible configuration. The problem with women is that they age. I've always been saying this, you know, it's like as an asset, they depreciate. So, I mean, that's just the problem with the ladies, you know. There's other variations. People can not want to have children. That's totally fine. People can even not want to be in lifetime relationships. Did you know that Whoopi Goldberg, like, it chooses to live alone? She prefers that. That it's what makes her happy. That's the arrangement that she wants to have in her life. Also normal, you know? People want to get together. Like, I have a partner. We're in love with each other. I think it's pretty awesome and beautiful. That's normal. But if I was living with, like, a polycule, also normal. If an old person is dating someone of a comparable age and, you know, they're not able to have kids, they can adopt. There's other things that they can do. There's other variations. This one might shock you, but you don't even need to have a man and a woman to be in a relationship to necessarily be happy. Men are also very happy with other men, you know? Women are happy with other women. Non-binary people are happy with non-binary people. It turns out there's a lot of different ways. We don't need to always, like, when you see that, like, Jordan Peterson loves bringing this up, and that is, there are studies that come out from parts of the world. Well, sorry, I should quote him verbatim. When we look at studies, if you look at basically the rate of STEM and you know, bloody well, there's certain parts of the world in which we feel that we have very comparable rates of women and men having freedom. You know, the feminism has practically been achieved. The Dragon of Chaos reigns. We always see, bloody hell, it comes out clear as day. Every single one of these, you know, women doesn't choose STEM. They choose other things because women, they don't naturally, they use their brains, you know, like all this kind of shit. It's like, okay, I get it. Back in if we look at studies that represent countries that have the most amount of gender equity, are we also getting an idea for how much of these results are reinforced by societal stereotypes? As in, when you grow up your entire life, you are programmed with a set of shit. If you're a dude, yes, this kind of stuff is reinforced to you. This is, you know, guys just need a cold beer and then a warm pussy and they'll be happy. That's what a man wants. You know, and don't fucking tell me about your feelings, because that's gay, and you're not, like, gay's the worst thing you can be. So, you know, you get this, right? This is what it should be.
I'm not saying it's good that guys do this. I'm saying it's what guys want. There was the old data from OkCupid that points this out, that no matter what age a man is, he messages 22-year-olds. Now, I got to be honest, I think that's a little creepy. 50-year-old guy messaging a 22-year-old, hey. But if it's like a fit, attractive, wealthy 55-year-old guy, 22-year-old might actually have no problem with that. Although I think...
So, again, I get back to this. What are you saying? What is the point of any of this? Or you? Like, again, I could just make, like, 25 random statements and like, you know, disassociate them from each other and just talk for fucking 11 minutes about something. Like, and then what has been gained from any of this? You're just saying a bunch of things out loud.
It's kind of weird that, you know, the dude's older than your dad, but that's on you. I mean, it's legal and it's fine. You do what you want. Women tend to message men their own age. It was crazy watching the chart. It was like 34-year-old woman will send a message to a 34-year-old man. But 34-year-old man is sending a message on average to a 22-year-old woman. Again, not saying it's good, not something I would do. But I guess...
I don't know. I think all of this I put in that genre of kind of like men hating, reinforcing toxic shit that like a lot of people do. Where it's like, you know, this shit is... It's generally... about dudes are just fucking one track, a monolith. Every single dude, like if I look at these OkCupid studies, it's going to demonstrate to me that men on average are messaging 22-year-olds. It's the golden number. It's the one group that every single man, no matter how old he is after, and that's just men. They want 22-year-olds. Once you reach 23, you have no value to society. I mean, look at Leonardo. Oh, wait, that's 25, right? Leonardo's 25? I think it's 25. There's a, like, I don't know if you knew this, but Leonardo DiCaprio breaks up with any girlfriend he has once they reach a certain age. No one's made it past it. Like, no one. It's got to be so weird to date him and be a 24-year-old. To know that, like, you are breaking up the next year. Like, it's going to happen. There's no, it's like one of the laws of nature. It's unavoidable.
Guys, look, it's I don't know why.
No offense to any 22-year-olds. Like, look, I'm not here to debate whether or not Tim Pool's OkCupid study has revealed some profound truth about the very nature of man and the one thing man truly wants, which is a 22-year-old woman. That notwithstanding, like, there's a lot of things at play when you make general statements about people who are usually trying to be forced into strict gender roles their entire lives, which all of us are. That's just the way it is. You know, it's reinforced by most aspects of society. If there's even slight deviations in representation from that, it's suddenly woke and outrageous, and we have to make a big fuss about it.
I don't know why people don't want to believe it, but maybe it's because society continues to tell women that the path towards social acceptance is to get a career and be the CEO. Work long, grueling hours in difficult circumstances, isolated and alone. And I think there's a tendency for women to say,
it's weird because there's a whole public perception about this too. I'm on for a 22-year-old and random dudes on Twitch find out I'm almost 40 and make really weird implications about it. As in, like, you are doing it for some kind of nefarious purpose.
I don't want that. Some women really want to be CEOs, and by all means, they absolutely should. If they have the merit, the passion, the drive, nothing should stand in their way.
That's nice of you, Tim.
But I think often society is pushing women to do this instead, and it's creating a pressure. Where I mentioned this before, I've seen women on dating websites saying, I wish I didn't have to work and could just be a mom. But they're increasingly encountering men who either are incapable of being providers.
Okay, so he's basically finally getting to the kind of, I'd say, closest thing to a point. We're getting a little bit into the trad wife territory, you know. It's just society is really telling women these days that you can have it all. You can be a career woman and also have a child, and also you can blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, so if there's a difference that is predominantly going to be something that women experience, and that happens to be the birthing of children, if that's something that, you know, is going to affect someone's life, then there should be systems and stuff in place that can look after them as they go through that thing. So we should have things like paternity leave. We should also have, maternity leave. And I was going to say we should also have things like paternity leave as well, because that way, you know, the partner can help out, and that's a time I have been told by most people who have gone through pregnancy, where help is quite nice because it's quite difficult. It's not exactly the easy thing. It's not you know, the roller coaster ride it's made out to be. That kind of stuff seems quite intense. quite intense. So I would assume. But then, if that's something, broadly speaking, that is kind of normalized and woven into society, the idea of maternity leave and paternity leave, and then the idea of giving, subsidies so people can afford childcare, stuff like that, look after their kids, have families, if that can be incorporated into the work-life balance, if your job isn't something that is absolutely grueling and consuming every single aspect of your life, so you can have some opportunities to actually spend your life with your children. Like, I get it. We all live in a society. We all have parts to do. We have to help out, and this is how the wheels of society do turn. But that being said, it's kind of been moving in a direction where people are seeming to have to work and grind themselves into dust, while a very small amount of people make a lot of money.
Or a society that is demanding they get a job and support themselves. It's getting harder and harder.
Is Canada good with childcare? We made a little bit of a big advance, I think, a couple of years ago when Jagmeet Singh was able to leverage his soft power in Parliament to advocate for extensions of existing programs. I think America's the only developed country in the world that doesn't have a mandatory form of paternity leave or maternity leave. I could be wrong on that, though. I don't want to be quoted on that, and I could be speaking out of my ace.
Harder to support yourself on a single income. So, what do we see?
Maternity?
No. At Value Men on TikTok, you're correct. I mean, I don't think it's gay for a man to date a woman because she's a woman, like, and he wants to hook up.
Epic.
Even if she's just bringing another masculine role to the table. But I do think that plays a huge role. Do men, on average, want a partner who plays a masculine role? I'm willing to bet the answer is, on average, no. The stronger dating position for a woman will probably be, if you are 30, you will probably have better luck dating a 35-year-old man with a job by telling him you want to have a family. And the guy's going to be like...
I mean, it's weird because I'm like, this is the age range of which I find myself as well. I'm in my late 30s. It doesn't really pass through my brain too much about like, yeah, the thing I'm really looking for is a much younger woman, at least I would say 7 years younger, who tells me immediately that she wants to give birth. I want that. It's what a man's looking for these days, And again, there may be a lot of people who are looking for certain things. I myself very much enjoy the female form, feminine presenting women. I am attracted to. Yes, I'm not going to debate that. Again, it just comes down to, but there's other people. There's just like, it's totally fine if there's dudes who are into incredibly masculine features on women. That's completely fine. Lady muscles are okay too, Tim. You don't need to be scared of them. They're not going to hurt you unless you ask for it. Like it's a bunch of things where it's like, you don't have to consistently apply this one size fits all dynamic to everybody. Just because like some people, like a woman should not have to follow a set list of standards and principles to fit into the box that you were trying to paint for the world. That shouldn't have to be a thing.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I got a job. I make good money. Let's have a family. I need someone who can do that for me. I can't do it. Think about it this way. You run a company. Every day you wake up, you sweep the floors. Someone comes in and says, look, you run the company, partner up with me, and I will help in also running another company. And you're going to be like, well, look, I mean, that's really great, but I don't know why I would partner my company with your company. We both run our own companies. But what if they came there and said, I would like to partner up with you. And what I'll do is I'll make sure the place is clean as a whistle. I'll handle maintenance and sanitation while you handle running the company. All of a sudden, then he's going to be like, that's a great deal. I don't want to be sweeping these floors. Now, to be honest, the guy could probably just hire someone to sweep the floors. My point is, if a partner comes in and they offer to do the things that you're not already doing, you have a full picture right there. How about that? But if you come in...
Women are janitors. Well, I mean, I forgot about that aspect of it. Not only are you my sex vessel and sandwich maker, but also my janitor.
and offer what a guy already has, he's just going to say, I'm not interested. So I have to wonder.
So again, a lot of what Tim does is basically regurgitating a lot of right-wing talking points, and then under the veneer that it's actually coming from a centrist milquetoast liberal. Yes, see, even a centrist milquetoast liberal was able to agree with nearly every single thing that the right to far right are saying right now, and is going to bring a whole bunch of white supremacists onto a show, a rotating cast of white supremacists to agree with a lot of the things that they talk about. Just get to, you know, sit there alongside the white supremacists and be like, ah, yeah, yeah, I'm not going to push back on any of that, even though that is some pretty fucking vile, intense, racist shit. Yeah, I don't think that at the end of the day, it's really got to be the Tim Pool guide to dating. Women be janitor bang maids.
I'm not going to sit here and play stupid games about dating strategy or anything like that. I don't know. I think be respectful, be yourself. Women have agency and can have any job.
Lance Illuminati did a video on George Santos. Even his name may not be real. Oh, that's first, awesome. We're going to add that to the viewing catalog. Second, yes, that's old news. We did know that George Santos was in fact not George Santos. And who was he before he was George Santos? He goes by many names and many characters. Yes, he also was a drag queen, and that's probably one of the more base things about him. But then there's the whole taking money for a dying dog, and then the dog died. That's really monstrous and horrifying, you know. But again, he is, you know, he's Santos Claus. He is all things and nothing simultaneously.
They want, do whatever they want. I got no issue with that. But I do think men as well, if you're trying to date, consider what it is a woman wants. Now the challenge is, I think many women are just doing what they think is socially acceptable because they are subject-oriented individuals. And that makes a challenge. They may say, society wants X, I will do that. But a relationship requires Y. How do you do both? Well, the reality is you don't need to worry about what other people think. You want to do what feels right for you and makes you happy. And my only thing is say to women, if that means you be the CEO and you be the athlete and you work that job and you lift weights, I'm proud of you. Please, you know, keep doing that.
But if you want a man, if you don't want to die alone, which I know some of you probably don't, well, then you're going to have to be a bang maid. I mean, hey, I'm not saying you all have to be bang maids. You know, girl power, feminist Tim Pool here. But I do want to say that if you want a man, then you're going to have to be a bang maid. That's just that you got to give him things that he can't do himself. Because heaven knows men can't clean or cook or do anything really. They're useless creatures, but they are breadwinners. They like to work with their hands. They're all a bunch of Jesuses. And so because of that, they're going to make a lot of money and support the family. And then you have to basically give them the release when they need it. So you can be the sex vessel and then you give birth to the children and also raise the children and clean the house full time. That's pretty much, that's your story. It's going to be fun. If you want it, by the way. You know, if you want to be a CEO, yes, queen, but you could also be a pregnant queen. Know what I'm saying? Impregnation queen.
Stuff. We need more of it. And if you're a woman who wants to be a mom and wants to be with a guy, and you meet a guy who's looking for someone who wants to be a stay-at-home mom, and that's what's right for you, then embrace it. Just be happy. And if you're a guy who wants to be a stay-at-home dad, and you meet that woman who wants to be the CEO, congratulations, you made it work. But I think people just need to realize she's right. She says, I'm absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. I don't think that's the case. I think what's happened is modern society has offered up disloyalty, no-fault divorce.
I've used AI to generate Tim Pool's future wife. Let us see. Oh, wow. This is advanced technology. I didn't even know we had it. My word. Some are quite striking. Quite striking. We have to see if Tim is interested.
And masculinized females. I mean, figuratively and literally. Women saying, I will do the breadwinner role. And it's like, I don't need that done. I do that. Now, maybe you just need to find a guy, the rare guy, who...
I don't want to marry someone who makes money, because I make money. I'm okay. I already have money. Oh, well, you could have more money. She actually makes more than you. Yeah, I don't care. No, I want bang maid. Get here and be bang maid for me. Yeah, I'm impregnate bang maid. Your sandwich.
Wants to be a stay-at-home dad. He'd probably love to be in a relationship with you. But until People start to have honest conversations.
But dude, why? What's wrong with stay-at-home dads? Come on. It's like, what's wrong with the concept of the stay-at-home dad? I mean, ultimately, kind of emasculating. So how does that work out? Does your wife get home and put on the strap on and then peg you all night? Because again, you're the stay-at-home dad, so I'd imagine that's pretty much what your evenings are filled with. Non-stop pegging. Yeah. Kind of wish we had that.
Conversations about this. They're just going to keep acting confused. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up tonight at 8 p.m. live. YouTube.com/TimCastIRL. Don't miss it. Come hang out. It's going to be fun, and I'll see you all then.
Well, that was Man Vice, Dude Vice, from the one and only, the Beanie himself. And it comes down to, ladies, hey, Tim Pool says that as a milquetoast fence-sitter liberal, that ultimately he is for, you know, if you want a Yas Queen, go out there and be a CEO, that's cool. You can go out and do that, you know. But if you want a man in your life, a real man, a beanie man, if you will, well, to be a beanie man and get one, you're gonna have to just be a bang maid. You're gonna have to basically be a sex vessel that makes sandwiches and cleans the house all the time. Yeah, and does all the laundry too. And then you know, basically will be impregnated, and then after the impregnation and the birth, you raise the children. That's the deal. But he's not telling you either way. He's not saying one better than the other. Just saying these are the two options, okay? You can have a career, you can be the CEO and do all that, you know, and whatever comes with that, who knows? But like, also, if you want a man, that this is how you get your man. This is how, I mean, men want one thing, and this is how you get it. Yeah. Beanie Man, the reggae artist, would be a word. I would assume if it was anything to do with his outfit, it probably would be some weird form of screamo reggae or something like that. I can only guess. Can only assume.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Juste, we shall spend many a generations building mighty cathedrals in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your oafish jesters, here to offer you a laugh at any opportunity. To our brave knights of the Round Table, Rachel K., Izzy Solidarity, Victoria Bell, Sebastian Demel, Mark Harmon, Benji Arney, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Everything Important, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Doug Cady, Daniel Sutton, Jenna Tal, Dark Puppy, Quiet One 85, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, Multimondi, Trevbot EXE, Brian Ephraim, Anthropophojack, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Ralph Parler, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Todd Buckingham, and Todd La Jeunesse. We salute our valiant heroes off to fight injustice everywhere.